Welcome to Saturday Shorts. Today I want to talk about how do you tell good stories in an interview. If you've seen some of my shorts before, I talked about using a real example and using the STAR method. I'm going to demonstrate that today, but I want to be obvious about the STAR method. So I'm going to say situation, trouble, or task, action, results. At any rate, here's my example. I'm interviewing for a COO position. I'm a current COO. And the question is, what is your leadership style? How do you motivate and nurture your team members to ensure program success? Here's my answer. I consider myself a servant leader. Here's the situation. When I worked for ABC Corporation as a COO, I was confronted with a team that had been beaten up, demoralized, and were skeptical of anyone the CEO would hire. Here are the actions that I took. One of the first things that I needed to do was to prop up my team, get them working together, get them to understand that, hey, they know what they're doing, they've done this before, and I'm just here to help guide them. I wanted them to feel empowered. So, the principles of being a servant leader are empower your subordinates to make good decisions, train them to make good decisions, and then knock down any obstacles in the way. So, I wanted to empower them. I wanted to also show them, hey, here's the way to make a right decision. Here's not such a great decision. But then most important, I needed to knock down obstacles. And what was the obstacle? The obstacle was the CEO. They were so skeptical of making any decisions that they couldn't make a decision. And so I slowly helped them gain that initiative back where they could make decisions and not be worried about the CEO second guessing them. As a result, had a much more empowered team. We had a team that felt like they were contributing to the company, and our revenues went up, and we also had a more content team. That's how I would answer that question. It took roughly a minute 45 seconds. That's the perfect amount of time for a story as well. So before you go to an interview, figure out what the questions are and practice them using a live example and the STAR method. Join me next week for more Saturday Shorts.